Previously on Building Forceworld.
I made the entrance of a Star Wars theme park based on the original concept by Kevin Lynch. It's in the style of Coruscant and has some cool details like the Outlander bar, Dexter's Diner, a monorail and a drop tower. Today we'll finally begin a brand new area of the park, the Forest Moon of Endor, where I'm gonna build a very cool coaster. Let's get straight into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this brand new episode of Building Forceworld. I can be all mysterious about it, but you've already seen the title, so well, we're building Endor today. Or at least we're gonna make a start. Basically, this right here is gonna be the Endor entrance, kind of. And right here, I'm gonna build a giant multi-launch coaster based off of the speeder chase. I may add some flat rides as well, but let's get into it and see what happens. I have learned from past experiences that building coasters first is absolutely super duper important, because of course then you can build everything else around that. It seemed cool and kind of sensible to make the station of this coaster the Endor bunker, so essentially the front of the bunker is going to be the entrance to this ride. However, I do think that means to save some space on top, we do have to make this underground, the station of course, and the launch maybe as well. So let's first go ahead, free up some space and see how that goes. Now let's grab the multi-launch coaster, here it is. And I'm guessing the station begins right about here. And let's make sure not to go too close to the edge of the park again. We all know how fun that was with the Back to the Future area. Actually, no, wait, it has to be a bit further down here, because this right here is going to be the launch, which will be underground. So let's do it like this instead. That could be the station. And I suppose from there, you just go straight for a bit and then you launch. Let's choose booster here and make that very nice and long. Something like this, I'm guessing. And after that, it goes up to the main surface and then it's going to do a bunch of crazy stuff. Let's see, here it's gonna do a little hill thing, then it makes a sharp left. And the whole idea of this coaster is it shouldn't go too far off the ground because it's supposed to be this scene. Those speeders simply don't go that high up, so we do have to make this a bit realistic. Now this time, let's actually first test this in between before I make something that's absolute garbage. Let's put that on testing, have a seat, and see what we've got so far. See, that is absolute trash. This is going to take forever, ladies and gentlemen. And before continuing, actually, let me just close this back up so that I know where the coaster track above ground can go. Okay, well then let's carry on. I have no idea if this is gonna work, guys. I'm gonna be building this for quite a while, so I'll be right back with you if I have something that I like.
12 seconds later.
It's our boy Teachman! I would ask his help, except I really want to try and do this myself for once, because I have to believe in myself. I can build coasters too, guys. Anyway, now I'm just kind of making a basic layout, and then later I'll make sure it's all very smooth, because I don't think this is it, but we'll see. I suppose there's only one way to find out. Let's have a look at this beautiful coaster. Okay, so that whole second half was just absolute dog water, so let's let's try and do something different for that. Slowly but surely, we'll get there, I hope. I am not finished, not even close, but since it's been 3 hours, I thought I might just update you a little bit. As you can see, right now I have quite a nice layout. The second launch is right here. The highest point is going to be that, because still, as I said earlier, it can't go too high, but it's still a roller coaster, so I do want to have some high bits. It's kind of a nice balance between the two, I hope. What I have so far is pretty nice, except for this. I don't know about that yet. But then here I have to make sure it goes back to the station there, and I'm not entirely sure how. I obviously still want to have some room for path and that sort of stuff, maybe some more flat rides. So if anything, it should be relatively close to other track, but I'll see how it goes. Guys, I think I did it. It now is technically a functioning coaster. I also made it so that there's an unloading station right here, then the loading station here. When this one departs, there's another one coming already, and there's one on the track at the same time. So really, it's pretty efficient. However, right now I just want to show you guys the POV because I think it's not actually even so bad. Let's have a look.
Prepare for launch.
not gonna lie, I do think I'm slowly getting better at building coasters. I mean, obviously it's not perfect, but it's pretty nice. Definitely a hell of a lot better than the dreadful dino dropdown. Anyway, let me first just clean up all of this landscape because I did make quite a mess. For some context, all of this is going to be like a chasm through the landscape. It won't be some kind of cave, it will be just outside. I don't know what the situation with this is going to be, but I guess we'll see when we start working on it. So yeah, there you have it then. For the color, blue obviously isn't really all that great. Honestly, for now, let's just keep it black, I guess. My initial idea would have been brown, but I feel like the trains could be brown as well. So for now, let's just keep it black. Black is such a cool color for coasters, dude. Look at that. I like it. Then for the trains, of course, let's try to kind of get that same reddish brown color for those speeder bikes. It is pretty desaturated though, so let's not make it too... Here you go. That's pretty good. Here, just like that. That looks actually quite decent. Besides, we can always change it later if it doesn't end up being exactly right. Then I guess this is the official first ride. I mean, there's the drop tower, but this is an actual coaster. I'm quite thirsty though. This has taken an entire afternoon, so let me just get a drink. And while I sip this, consider buying this hoodie, because it's freaking epic. I mean, look at that. For only 16 Robux as well. Check the link down below. Then now, let's continue. Unlike usually, where I'm just gonna see where things go on their own, this time I actually do want to plan some ideas, some of the terrain, some of the structures, really just anything. For example, the entrance of this coaster, the bunker, I think should be right about here. Just right below the brake run there, seems like a pretty nice spot. So well, let's place this down as a placeholder so we know that's gonna be there. Then, I mean, what else are we gonna put here in general? First of all, there's the Ewok village. We definitely need those kind of tree houses. That giant landing structure type thing, which I think looks pretty sweet as well. We can add the Lambda shuttle too. I think we should skip on the AT-AT because we're gonna build those anyway in the Hoth area, so I'll just hold off on those. Then we need some ATSTs, but those we can just kind of place as we go. Aren't there any flat rides we can add in here? What is something that resonates with Endor, kind of? For once, and I never thought I'd say this, but the spiral slide actually has a place here. I feel like this could fit, maybe with an Ewok kids type area. We'll see if that fits at some point. Anyway, the giant structure, what if we put that right here? These are gonna be those two pillars with the platform on top, something like that. It's just a placeholder, so I don't mind the look. On top, we can add the shuttle, of course. What else do we have? I mean, there's a giant dish. We could add that as well. What if we put that right in between this helix? Just exactly in the center. Until a better idea occurs to me, this is where the dish is gonna be. Just a very wacky placeholder. There you go. Beautiful. Then let's already begin a path. Kind of just random, I guess. There's gonna be a bunch of vegetation and plants and trees and all of that sort of stuff. So the edges are gonna look real nice and natural. But for now, this is just kind of an idea. Let's make a pretty large open spot right here. This could kind of be the main area in Endor, and then some path leading straight over this track. I think this is gonna be one of the most complex areas I will have ever done, because there's gonna be a lot here, like a lot of different things. What we also cannot forget about is the monorail. We have to make sure there's enough room for it to actually go through this area. But what if we make it go straight through this structure? I have to make it a tad higher so it actually fits, but that could be pretty cool. See, just like all of that could be really nice. The idea is to make sure everything here just fits together really well. So then I guess it goes back here towards the edge of the park right here, something like this. I think that could be pretty nice. You just have to imagine this is all going to be surrounded by a bunch of trees, and like high trees, the cool redwood type trees. So really, if this ends up looking the way it does in my head, In fact, to finish today's episode, let's experiment making trees. As you might know, these trees don't actually exist in this game yet, so we're gonna have to make them manually. The most obvious is just to have a wooden stick, like that, and my idea was to hopefully be able to add some detail using some of these primitives on the side. So basically I grabbed one and then rotated a bunch of times around this tree at different points to add some lovely texture to the entire thing, like so. The file size is gonna absolutely hate me, but well, I mean, what can I say? It's not gonna stop me, at least. This is starting to look like something, as you can see. If I grab that half and just rotate it around, I instantly have the other side too. And the same goes for its height, of course. I can just copy this over like so, which as you can see makes it look just a bit nicer, a bit less boring, less flat, most of all. Now, on the bottom, of course, we do need roots, so let's kind of use some cylinders once again to make that effect. This, of course, can just all be very random. It doesn't really matter that much because it's nature. We love nature. Here you go. For some extra randomness, let's add some of these cubic ones too. I have a really good feeling about all of this, actually. Just this entire area. It seems like it's gonna work really well. Then next, for the branches, let's use cylinders as well. Just making sure they all connect nicely. Some different shapes and sizes too. Man, this is exciting. It is kind of a modular tree if you think about it. You can just grab all these individual pieces and build new trees from them. For the leaves, however, this of course is a bit of a challenge. On the top, let's just put some of these guys. Kind of just seems like the most obvious as well. Here you go, just like that. I want the leaves to be a bit more yellowish, like so. And using these kind of custom-made bushes I just did, I'm just gonna fill up the entire tree. So say I was gonna make a new unique tree now. Let's grab this and this thing as well. See, we're basically halfway there. And now all I need to do is just rotate all of these branches around a little bit, and then we basically just have a tree. And, well, there's a tree. It looks a tad wonky. I may have to tweak the shapes of the leaves, but you get the idea. The only thing is, this is way too big to copy at once, so that is the concept, so you have kind of an idea of what I'm gonna do in the next episodes. With that, I suppose for today we've done quite enough. Maybe this video isn't all that long, but this process really was. I am very, very excited for this. I cannot wait to see what this is gonna look like, honestly. But then I guess for today, that is it. If you liked this video, make very sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit the bell not to miss a single video, and then I hope I'll see you in the next episode of Building Forceworld.